day, and that's what baseball is. There's always another game.
Alfonso Soriano gets set to lead it off. Soriano hitting at .231, 14 homers. He's driven in 30. And the 37-year-old right-hander Jose Contreras' first pitch swung on and missed. Cubs come in at 34 and 35. They're hitting at .247 as a club. They, like our Sox, have had a lot of trouble offensively. Dropped down and the count 0-2. Soriano's had good success against Contreras. 8 at-bats, 5 hits. And of the 5 hits, 2 of them have stayed in the park.
Well, you certainly would like to throw this breaking ball, either sweep it way outside or preferably a splitter in the dirt.
Soriano from that crouch. Never loses his launch angle as he takes it upstairs. He makes a little weight shift back with that leg kick. Maintains the posture of his right side and then spins out. That's why he is such a good fastball hitter and not a real good breaking ball hitter. He gone.
That was as good a split finger as we've seen Jose throw all year long. That one was pretty much a bunch of nose to toes. No chance on this. Soriano just takes a look and then takes a walk.
So that'll bring up Fukudome, hitting at .263, 5 homers. He's driven in 23. He is 2 for 5 lifetime off Contreras. And as Dan Rowan told you in the pregame show, these two clubs have met 68 times, and each has won 34.
That's really amazing. And within 3 runs of one another.
Yeah, it really is. That's why the records, or how you're going, have no meaning when this series takes place.
White Sox second in the American League in pitching, and the Cubs third in the National League in pitching.
Again, that's why we both feel that these two teams are going to win the Central Division. Ours in the American, of course. And when you've got pitching like that, and they are going to hit. They are going to hit. As there's a strike. A couple of years ago, Mike Mulligan was out on that ledge, and I kept telling him they're going to hit. They're going to hit. Well, they didn't hit 2 years ago, but last year they did. The ball hit hard into right field, right at Jermaine. Had a little movement on it. Meanwhile, it's a hang Wolfham for Koske.
Milton Bradley didn't play in the game yesterday, and Lou originally said he won't play if he has to hit left-handed, because left-handed he's hitting .205, and yet looking at the lineup today, there's Bradley in the 3 spot. He's driven in only 16 runs, and the Cubs, if they're going to do anything, this is one of the guys in the middle of their lineup that has got to pick it up.
Hitting at .241, 5 homers, and as he mentioned, 16 knocked in as he takes strike 1. He's 4 for 12 lifetime off Contreras with a homer. 1-1 to count. Outfield shading him slightly to the left. Beckham way off the line at third as there's the strike. And the count 1-2. Derek Lee, the on-deck hitter.
Well, unfortunately, the pitch that Milton really has problems with is that slider low and in, but Jose doesn't throw a slider. He's got a good fastball, and he'll try to keep it away.
He gone. Right on the outside corner. 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts for Contreras. And after a half inning of play, it's the Cubs nothing and the good guys coming to bat.
Konerko, Castro, Getz, Anderson, and Beckham. The defense, left to right. Soriano, Fukudome, and Bradley. In the infield, Fox, Blanco, Fontenot, and Lee. Soto behind the plate, and Randy Wells on the hill.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Scotty Podge takes strike one from the 26-year-old right-hander out of Lebanon, Illinois, Randy Wells. Sox come in at 35 and 37, hitting at .251 as a club with a 4.07 ERA.
Randy Wells was a catcher, and now he's become a pretty good major league pitcher.
There's a shot, and that's going to be a base hit into center field. So Fukudome will get it back in. Good speed aboard. Scotty Podge 10 for 14 in stolen bases.
2-1 count. You get a fastball up and away, and just as the game ended yesterday, it starts today with a looping single. This time, instead of right center, it's the left center from the Southwest RoboCam. We'll take a look at a very promising way to start the first inning.
So here's Ramirez hitting at .261, 9 homers. He's driven in 35. And here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. Just a gorgeous day here in the beautiful city.
Randy Wells was lost by the Cubs in the Rule 5 draft to Toronto. So they thought that he wasn't going to be very much, but they got him back, and he's had a terrific run at it. He's thrown the ball exceptionally well this year.
That's short hopper. And quickly 2 out.
If you can throw sinkers, you can get 2 outs with 1 pitch. And Fox at third is not going to dazzle you with his glove work, but he made a very good play there in the short hop.
That'll bring up Jermaine Dye. Jermaine hitting at .278, 16 homers. He's knocked in 42. Takes strike one.
I asked Jermaine how he approaches a guy he's never seen before, and he said, I looked at a lot of tape, and I know his best pitch is a changeup.
That ball hit high, long, deep. He looks up. Soriano still looking up. You can put it on the board. Yeah! Yeah!
He was sitting there waiting for the changeup. He got it and hit it out. And sometimes that tape doesn't lie, and Jermaine thought he was going to get one. He didn't know when he'd get it, but when he did, he was ready to hit it.
And here's Big Jim Thome.
A changeup, thigh high and inside.
Tailing right to the sweet meat.
That's only the 3rd home run that Wells has given up this year.
That's high and wide, 2-0. Thome hitting at .240, 12 homers. He's driven in 39. Sitting on 553 home runs as that's fouled down. And right now, let's check out our Southwest Airlines picks to click. Jim Angio, our Hall of Fame director and the crew, well, they went with Alexi Ramirez, Lisa, Steve, Tex. They're going to go with Chris Getz, and Carolyn Corno, recovering from surgery at Northwestern Hospital. And we're going to go with Ramon Castro today. Carolyn, we're thinking about you. Glad everything went well, honey.
Talked to Jim Jr., and he said she's doing just fine. She came through. What a relief.
That's foul back, full count. Of course, those picks brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com today. Two out, full count with Konerko on deck. And that's ball 4. And, of course, with that home run by Jermaine Dye, the Alex Nelius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every White Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 84, so $8,400 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula.
The Cubs didn't have any injuries to their rotation. There's a very good chance that Wells never gets a chance to pitch this year. Not in the major leagues anyway, even after going 10-4 in AAA last year. But he's made the most of his opportunity.
So here's Paulie on a 10-game hitting streak. Oh, quick slider right there. Paulie at .295, 12 homers, 46 driven in. Softly hit down to Fox at third. And that'll retire the side. But the home run, number 17 by Jermaine Dye. It is 1-0 White Sox. First pitch to Derek Lee, taken for a strike from Jose Contreras. Sox lead at 1-0. Jermaine Dye's 17th homer. Lee's 21-game hitting streak snapped yesterday in Detroit. And there's the strike.
Lee's been hitting the ball awfully hard to right and right center field. And he's using a little bit different type of stance where he uses a toe tap and lifts his leg and getting it down, and he's swinging the bat pretty well.
Sounds like Larry.
Very much so. Larry has 4 toe taps and lifts all of his legs and never gets him down.
The 1-2 pitch. He gone.
Jose's throwing that fastball at 93 miles an hour today, so he's going to be feeling pretty good. He dips down. Wanted that one away. He got it up and in, put it in a perfect spot, and actually just overpowered it.
That's when the hitter just can't quite get his hands and arms in quick enough. A little slow, and consequently the ball gets by you. But here is Hoffpauir hitting at .267.
You got to be really careful keeping the ball away from this guy. Hit a home run in Detroit to the opposite field. He has a hard time with anything in under his hands.
Big hack in the count, 1-1. Saw him in the spring and He's got big-time power.
There's no doubt about it. It took him a long time to get to the major leagues, but
29.
the way he's swinging the bat looks like he wants to stay here.
One out, 2-1 to count. Jake Fox on deck. Off power last year, and 73 at bats, hit 342, a couple of homers. That is into left field. That's a can of corn for Scotty Pies.
Here's a guy you have to be careful of because Jake Fox is swinging the bat real well, and he's got tremendous power.
Saw some of the clips of the game the other day at Comerica Park. Well, he just killed one out there in center field. Unfortunately, that's the wrong place to hit it at that ballpark.
Hung up a little bit into right center, and you're right. That's the dead spot.
Fox hitting at 353 with a homer, 9 RBIs, 7 for his last 16. Last year at Tennessee, hit 307, 25 homers, and knocked in 79.
When they asked Jake his best position, he said batter's box. That pretty much tells you where eventually he will wind up, and I think as a designated hitter in the American League. But right now he can lose a fastball. He just has some problems with the slider and the curveball.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot of guys made a lot of money doing that.
Better believe it. Just off the outside corner. You don't have to hit a slider or a curveball to play in the major leagues, but you better not miss the fastball.
That was a sidearm splitter, and unless Jose stays over the top of that one, it's going to come out on the side, stay on the same plane, and wind up in the seats. Take a look at it. Jose doesn't keep his hand on top of it, and you see where it winds up. I mean, he was pretty lucky that that one didn't leave the ballpark.
Very lucky.
If you're going to throw that splitter from the side, you have to keep your hands on top of the baseball.
The 1-2 pitch. That's the fair ball by Beckham. So Fox is going to move into second with a 2-out double. That's his 5th 2-bagger and the first hit for the Cubs.
That was a splitter that didn't do a whole lot. That just acted like a hanging curveball. That ball hit down the line off of Beckham's glove. He's well off the line. And you can see Darryl Cousins pointing fair. Ball was touched in fair territory, and I got to get by Fontenot.
Sure would help if our corners knew when that splitter was coming. And that is down to Paulie. He'll suck it up, step on the bag, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. There was a 2-out double by Jake Fox, and after an inning and a half, 1-0 Sox. million. Young Mike Lopez has a chance if he can throw it through the hole. Didn't miss bad, but wow.
That would have been pretty exciting.
If you had to have one guy on our team throw one pitch through that hole, not for $1 million, but for Larry and Tex and Layla's life, who would it be?
Mark Burley. I don't think it would bother him. Certainly not if it was anybody else's life. But I also believe that he does have the best control.
Castro, Ramon. I was thinking about Alexei, but now I'll go with Burley.
It's a good idea.
I told
now,
Nick.
if you want to throw through that board.
When he was doing it during the real time, when he was doing it, I said, Nick asked me if I could throw it through there. I said, probably not in one pitch. I said, Burley might. As Castro strikes out.
That was a good hard slider from Wells. He had a couple of hittable fastballs. Didn't hit him. And then the put-away slider got him.
So here's Chris Getz, and while we have a moment, a big shout-out and a happy 22nd birthday to Jane Nightingale. Big Sox fan. Watching at home today with her mother, Deanne. So happy birthday. Happy 22nd, Jane Nightingale. That's foul back, and the count 1-1.
Wells works pretty quickly. After he got selected by the Blue Jays in the Rule 5 draft in 07, he was returned to the Cubs per the Rule 5 draft rules in April of 08.
And that's out of play, 2-2. First of a 3-game set tomorrow. Clayton Richard, check that. Mark Burley against Ryan Dempster. And on Sunday in the finale, Johnny Danks against Carlos Zambrano. As there's a good pitch. Tough pitch to the left-handed hitter down and in. 2 out.
2 up, 2 strikeouts. And another. If that's not a slider, it's one of the best changeups we've seen. But it looks like just a little slider low and in a perfect spot.
So here's Anderson. Tries to bunt it.
A pretty good idea on Jake Fox, who is not a real good glove man. So the idea was good, and Fox is still back at third. But no contact. One and
1 to count. 27-year-old outfielder. And that's inside. Randy Wells, 6'3", 230 pounds. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Beckham on deck. Oh, what a nice change in temperature from the last few days. Very comfortable breeze here today. And that's popped up. Blanco makes the catch. So a 1-2-3 inning for Wells. And after 2 innings of play, it is 1-0 Sox. First pitch to Soto. Giovanni hitting at 227, 6 homers. He's driven in 21.
It's going to pull everything, so if you stay away with the fastball, you should be in pretty good shape.
There's another one down the line just by the outstretched leap. And Pods quickly gets to it, makes a beautiful throw in to hold him to a single.
And Soto continues to pull everything, although this one stays over the inner portion. That one by Beckham. We've seen a lot of balls go down the line just in the last 2 weeks.
So here's switch hitter Andres Blanco hitting at 233. He has faced Contreras 9 times and has drawn the collar. Pops it up. Pauly is there. And that's out number 1.
Blanco came over from Kansas City, actually had a couple of shots with him and hit 252 for his career in the major leagues, although it was a brief career. And he's got the best hands in their infield, but apparently he's not the best butter as he drops the head of the bat. And sacrifice denied.
Well, it's like you and I are talking as far as the leadoff hit by Soto during the break last inning. When you get basically a 2-pitch pitcher out there, the corners have got to play closer to the line. The more pitches a guy has in his arsenal, the more you can play off the line. But when you got a fastball and a splitter pitcher like Contreras is, you've got to play on the line and cheat to your left, not play off the line and try to cheat to your right.
We've seen
a lot of balls.
We've seen Gordon Beckham flying toward the line a number of times, only to come up short and watch it in the corner. That time, Pasetnik did a nice job getting that one.
Soriano, 1-1 to count.
Soriano's actually starting to hit the ball pretty well. Von Joshua, the new hitting coach, is trying to rework a few of these guys, get them back on track. He's already paid some dividends with Fukudome.
You know, it's unfortunate that in sports, especially in baseball, when you're talking about changes in coaches or changes in managers, that every time you say something nice about a new incoming coach, a lot of people misconstrue that and reflect poorly on the outgoing coach. And that is not at all. Joe Perry's a good hitting coach. There's no question about that. He's proven it.
Well, with most of the same guys, he led the league in runs scored
That's
last
right.
year, so he didn't forget how to teach hitting.
No, and they won 97 games. As he gone, second strike out for Soriano.
But a couple things they didn't work out particularly well, as Jose this time throws a splitter and it just dives out of sight. And that is Bradley not hitting. He was added to the club. Joey Gathright didn't hit, so he's gone. Ryan Friel now activated. Aaron Miles not doing much, and they speculate that he might be disabled. And of course, there's always Mark DeRosa.
Line drive right to Pauly. Another hang woofum for Fukudome. He has been to the plate twice and hit it right on the money. He's barreled it up twice. Gordon Beckham cannot get the first pitch here in the bottom of the third. Gordon hitting at 172, a homer. He's driven in 8.
All those years, Randy Wells was in the minor leagues with the Cubs. His father, a Cardinal fan, a lifelong Cardinal fan, who said he would only wear a Cubs jersey when his son got to the major leagues. Well, there he is.
One and two to Beckham. One out.
The inning is over, and there's a little conversation between Bill Miller, Ramon, Jose, and obviously we don't know what it is exactly, but you'd figure Ramon probably was working as an interpreter.
He was, and Miller was the one that instigated the conversation. Went over, walked down, and called Jose over. Scotty Potts with a 1-1 count. He lined a single into center field. On the fist, and the count 1-2.
Sednick has really been a spark plug at the top. In fact, with the offense, which wasn't doing a whole lot, and searching for a leadoff hitter, Sednick has certainly filled that bill.
Well, he and Alexi both. Alexi was struggling. They put him in the 2-hole. Since that time, they have combined to hit .303 with 3 doubles, 5 homers, 14 RBIs, and scored 13 runs in the last 11 games. And that's out of play.
Well, the last road trip was all National League cities, which means that Jim Thome was taken out of the equation. And with Carlos Quentin hurt and Jermaine Dye nursing a sore calf, it took a lot of thunder away from this offense. Now, on that 8-game trip, with one rained out at Wrigley Field, the Sox went 5-3, which I think was a remarkable accomplishment, and then came here and took 2 of 3 from a really good Dodger team.
Well, prior to that, they went on a 6-game road trip, came back 5-1. So we're 10-4 in those last 2 road trips. And especially after blowing that, as that's foul straight back to our left, after blowing the second game of that Cup Series with that 5-1 lead. When they scored 4 in the bottom of the 8th and 1 in the 9th to win it.
Well, I think this Sox team has been pretty resilient as far as some of the emotional highs and lows. And both teams are trying to get over devastating injuries to offensive cogs. With the Sox, it's Quentin, and it's Ramirez with the Cubs.
That's into center field. Fukudome. And that's out number 2. Well, resiliency or heart or any of those issues are not an issue with the Sox. The issue with the Sox has been inconsistency. The inconsistency, both offensive and defensive.
I think both teams have situational hitting problems. And if that's going to continue, it's going to get a lot more difficult. Cubs only 3.5 back, 1 back in the loss column. The Sox 6 back of Detroit. And the Tigers have been red hot.
There's the strike and the count 0-2. The Tigers have won 7 in a row.
And they swept the Cubs in Detroit. And to add insult to injury, it took almost an hour to get from the ballpark to the airport, and then they had an hour-and-a-half gate hold because of weather. It took the Cubs a while to get back home last evening.
Well, they probably still got home before we did. There's a 2-hopper down to Fox. Nice peg and a nice 1-2-3, and that's 7 in a row retired by Wells. 1-0 Sox. Here in the top of the fourth. First pitch strike to Bradley. Bradley called out on a fastball outside corner his first trip. That's just off the corner.
Ramon tried to ease that ball over the corner, normally the sign that the catcher doesn't believe it's in the zone. Neither did Bill Miller.
Oh, yeah. And the count 1-2.
Milton taking a long stroll around. He doesn't see many of these in the National League.
Well, that's a Nintendo splitter right there. Work ball. Good pitch, didn't get it. And the 2-2.
Bradley does have a pretty good eye.
And the payoff pitch. He gone.
But a very tardy bat, as that fastball was in Castro's glove before Bradley could pull the trigger.
Well, this is just on 3-2, a nasty pitch. He got called out on that pitch his first time up. You can see that fanny flying one way and the chest going another.
Well, Lou said he wasn't going to play him much as a left-hand hitter. He might have had something there.
So here is Derek Lee. Struck out on the fastball. Takes that one for strike one. And the fourth inning is brought to you by Taco Bell's Fourth Meal, the meal between dinner and breakfast, open till 1 a.m. or later. Taco Bell. There's Lisa Stone, my partner's beautiful wife. Loves Taco Bell.
She can't wait till it gets late because of that.
Out in Scottsdale, where she has her own law firm. And they are divorce lawyers out there. As that's back through the middle.
Jose dropped down from the side. Castro wants it away. And this ball is away. But Lee, with good plate coverage in the Southwest RoboCam, takes it right back up the middle. They're playing Derek as a dead pull hitter. And he used the middle of the diamond.
So he has now hit in 22 of his last 23. And here's Hoffpower, who went out to Pods and left. And he's going to go out to Pods and left one more time.
White Sox Group and Party Area Outings. Priority seating for your group of 20 or more fans. You can save $1 to half off each ticket, depending on the size of your group in party areas like the fan deck, warning track, or individual game diamond suites. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
Jake Fox doubled right down the third baseline. Back in the second inning, that coming with 2 out.
I'm thinking you got to stay away from this guy. He's got an open stance, and he does like to open up.
Nope, it is 2-1 Cubs.
First ball, fastball, middle in, and gone. One of the reasons why Jake Fox hit most of his home runs in the minor leagues was first ball fastballs, especially middle in. That one is right down the middle.
Mike Fontenot grounded out to Canerco. 2-4-0 for the Cubs, 1-2-0 for our Sox here in the top of the fourth inning. It's over and done with, Jose. Just stay right where you were, buddy. And the count 2-1. Ball hit hard. Chris has got him, and that'll retire the side. But the single by Lee, the 2-run homer by Fox after 3.5. Cubs by 1. One and 0 the counter. Jermaine Dye here in the bottom of the fourth. 2-4-0 for the Cubs. 1-2-0 for our Sox. And Steve, both guys pitching well. Just two home runs.
And that's really the whole story of this game. So Jose just has to be a little more careful with the guys that are paid to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And Jermaine is one of those guys with Randy Wells. He's the only guy that's touched him up so far.
Jermaine is 17th homer, coming with 2 out in the first. Fouls that pitch away.
They're very much playing Jermaine as a pull hitter in the infield. Andres Blanco has the best hands in the infield. Normally he plays second, but he's a natural shortstop.
Fontenot's got him. 1 out.
Make every home game a double play at U.S. Cellular Field this season with 2 ballpark hot dogs for the price of 1. Visit an All-Star concession stand during the first hour after gates open. For White Sox individual game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
Jim Thome walked his first trip. Boy, Thome really deep in center field.
He plays an exceptionally deep center field for everybody. Now, he's a natural right fielder, but you see he's shifting on the count. With an 0-2 count, he moves over a couple steps to straightaway center.
That ball hit deep in the left field. Soriano looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. Yeah. Number 13 for Thome. He just flicked the bat out there and threw it out of the ballpark. Number 554 in his career, and this game is tied at 2.
RBI number 40, and if you're an observant hitter, either that shortstop or center fielder will occasionally tip a pitch. Certainly a location. 0-2, Fukudome moved to his right. And that pretty much would tell Jim Thome, who's been around this game a long time, that that pitch was coming away. And he just flicked it into the bullpen.
So here is Konerko. Paulie. Grounded out to third. 1-1 to count.
Talking with a few of the folks in the Cubs organization, they said that Fukudome probably plays the deepest center field of anybody in baseball.
Well,
and watch it again. You'll see the ball is away, and it's gone.
Watch how he keeps the bat in front of him right there. Just a little short. Quick swing, finishing, powering up. Not backing down, powering up. Change up, and the count 2-2. Thome now 9 home runs behind Reggie Jackson.
I believe that A-Rod caught Reggie Jackson with his home run in Atlanta.
563, they're tied. A-Rod right over the center field fence there at Turner Field. Full count to Pauly right here. Ball 4, base hit. Big guy. Breaking ball, a little quick slider. 2 down. So here is Castro. Struck out his first trip. Makes ball 1.
The Sox got Castro to take over for Corky Miller behind the plate. Skinny made a deal with the Mets. That's a little bit better. He does have some power. And if you throw it middle in, he'll show it to you.
High and deep. Soriano back at the wall. Now that little jump. He just missed it. But the home run by Jim Thome. We'll go to the 5th, tied at 2.
No problem.
A 2-2 tie here in the top of the 5th inning. 2-4-0 for the Cubs. 2-3-0 for our Sox. And that pitch down low to Giovanni Soto. He double and check that singled hard down the third base line. Pirates held him to a single. That's high into center field. Deep. Ryan back. Right in front of the Know Your Stats Walgreens sign. Just a long out.
With a foot to spare. And we'll take a look at how center fielders will tip pitches. You don't like to see a guy shift this drastically. Look at Fukudome. It's an 0-2 count, and watch him move to his right.
Some hitters look for it, some don't.
Well, he's moving about 8 or 9 steps, and usually what happens is a center fielder might come in, pick up some grass, then move back into the spot he wants to. But by shifting that drastically, you give a guy just a little edge if he's looking.
If he's looking for it. And that's what happens. There have been more so in the past. Guys today will cheat more physically. Guys from years past will cheat more mentally. And you can do it both ways as there's a ground ball to second base. So Blanco is retired, 2 down.
Now, Soriano is thinking about hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and that's one of the things you have to be aware of as you even think about a first ball fastball. This guy's made a good living, and the Cubs signed him for 8 years for $136 million because he can crush first ball fastballs.
That's the one to wait. One of the better first ball fastball hitters probably in the last 20 years. Of course, Big Daddy out there, and Big Vladdy, I should say, and Anaheim is by far the best. Beckham. And a very quick 1-2-3 inning. We're halfway home in this 2-2 tie. Chris Getz, Ryan Anderson, and Gordon Beckham to face Randy Wells, 26-year-old right-hander out of Lebanon, Illinois. And the count 2-0. Chris struck out his first trip. And the count 3-0. There's one. Other action around baseball today. Cincinnati at Cleveland. Baltimore hosting Washington. Philadelphia taking on the Blue Jays up in Canada as their strike 2. Florida at Tampa Bay. Padres taking on the Rangers in Arlington. Oakland at home against Colorado. Kansas City at Pittsburgh. the Mets hosting the Yankees. As that's into right field. Get down. Nope. Nice play by Bradley. Nice play. Nice catch.
Milton lifts up his hands because he had a similar play in Detroit. And he rolled over it and didn't get it. This time he makes a very good play. Coming on, taking it right off the grass. Good effort.
So here's Brian Anderson. Takes first pitch strike on the outside corner. Backhanded by Fox. And 2 out. Other action around baseball shows Red Sox down in Georgia taking on the Braves. Tigers at Houston. Twinkies in St. Louis against the Cardinals. Arizona at home against the Angels. And Seattle taking on Joe Torre's Los Angeles Dodgers.
For the Tigers, it's Verlander. For the Astros, Wandy Rodriguez. And Wandy throws very well in that dome, but he's got his work cut out for him because Verlander is throwing as well as anybody in the league.
There's a strike to Beckham, who's called out on strikes this first trip. And there's a base hit. Breaking ball. So, decent speed aboard.
Enjoy pregame tailgating at the White Sox Tailgate Party Pads. Treat your group of 20 to 50 fans to a private party area conveniently located outside Gate 2. Bring your own food or have it catered by the White Sox. Book a White Sox Tailgate Party Pad with discounted game tickets. Call 312-674-1000 today.
But when you get in the park, don't forget about the Bertucci boys out there.
Saw Bobby up here today. He looked resplendent.
And let's take another look at this pitch to Gordon Beckham. Now here's a pitch. Now look at this slider. Now watch it. There's a pitch that probably another 150 to 200 bats is going to leave the ballpark. But right now he's in that feel-out mode as he takes off. There's the throw, and he gone. Nice play by Blanco. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 6th. It is still 2-2. First pitch strike to Fukudome, leading off here in the top of the 6th inning. He has been to the plate twice, and he has barreled it up both times. One to right, and one to Canerco. 2 hang woofles. But you know, one of the mysteries about this Cub team this year is last year they won 97 games.
Yes.
Boy, did they have some kind of unbelievable, almost unbelievable turnaround in personnel over the winter.
Well, 12 guys are gone from last year's team. And of the 10 new guys that were brought to this year's team, only 4 remain at this point as of the spring training book.
That's up high, 1-2.
And the deals really haven't been particularly good. Blanco left. They replaced him with Paul Bacco. They let go of Bacco. Coy Hill in his place is hitting .212. We've already talked about Mark DeRosa. Aaron Miles hitting .203, not doing very much. Jason Marquis 9-5, over double the wins of both Zambrano and Dempster. And wound up costing him about $5 million to let him go. That was an expensive move.
The 1-2.
But they still missed Ramos Ramirez, who drove in 16 runs in 18 games, coincidentally the same amount of runs batted in that Milton Bradley has in 2.5 months.
He gone.
Good splitter by Jose. That's strikeout number 6. When he stays on top of it, it can be devastating. The bottom just falls out of this one.
And all 6 of these strikeouts coming at the top of the order.
And
2
Jose
by Soriano, 1 by Fukudome,
Jose's
2 by
hurt.
Bradley. Oh, man.
And this is not good. Looks like it's his back.
Hopefully it's just a cramp. Hopefully.
A great pitch, and Jose now starts to feel, I think, maybe a back spasm. And hopefully it just tweaked him and it does go away. He's a guy, the way he's thrown the ball since coming back in this his 4th start, that you dearly want to keep around.
Well, he looks like a different guy. He's working fast. He's throwing strikes. Before, he was working very slow. Ball 2, 3-1 on everybody. Ball 4.
And today, no walks at all. I mean, he's been touched up for a 2-run homer by Jake Fox in the 4th. He's only given up 4 hits, and hopefully he'll be able to fight his way through this. Now, usually what happens if you're an observant hitter, see a pitcher having some physical problems, you go up there, look first ball, fastball. Not that guys don't, but especially after a guy's had some problems.
Well, you got 99% will go first ball, fastball on most guys. They're not going to swing at that fork ball on the first pitch. That one's up high. Well, that's a pitch that you got to watch out for. Now, if he's going to try to protect maybe that back a little bit by not finishing it off. And there's another one up there. 2 fork balls in a row upstairs.
He's thrown 2, missed 2, and that puts Don Cooper on the phone to the bullpen.
Here it comes right here. Fastball, he's tardy in the left field. Pies. 2 down.
And when a dead fastball hitter, as Milton is, cannot catch up to a 2-0 fastball, that's when Vaughn Joshua really has his work cut out for him, and that's when you've got to make some adjustments, because he's looking for one thing, the fastball. He gets it, and it's not on the corner. That ball is right down the middle, and he can't catch up to it.
Here's Derek Lee, struck out in singles, also scored. It's back in the 4th inning. Drop down right there, fouls it back.
Well, everybody early in the season wanted Derek Lee to be moved down in the order. Some people wanted him to be traded. They wanted Hoffbauer to play every day at first base because they remember the 46 and 335 Derek Lee. That's 46 home runs, 335 batting average, and 107 runs driven in. That guy doesn't exist anymore, but this guy is still pretty good.
The 0-2 pitch. Just off the corner. That's popped up. Castro back. Stays with it. Makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Contreras. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. These two clubs this year played 2 games. They've split them. These two clubs have played 68 times. They've split them. And the totals on the board identical.
Well, Ryan Friel has taken over in right field. Milton Bradley out of the game.
Hides is 1 for 2. Box on the move. Can't get him. There's a little running slapper.
That's a tremendous play. And Pods has tried it a couple times. It's worked a couple of times. And with the speed he has, you got to be expecting it or you've got some problems. He's well in the box, even though he moves up a step. And then it's up to Jake Fox, who actually does a pretty decent job, just can't get it over there in time.
So here's Ramirez. He's hit into a 5-4-3 double play, and he's also grounded out 5-3. And now he's going to pop up to Fox.
White Sox versus Cubs tomorrow at 3:05. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of tomorrow's Crosstown Classic game.
That'll bring up Jermaine. He homered in the first. He grounded to second in the fourth.
when this year started, Giovanni Soto's shoulder was bothering him, and he wasn't throwing real well. But he threw a strike to cut down Beckham to end that 5th inning, so the arm is feeling pretty good.
First pitch strike to die. Thome on deck.
And Hawk, I know that Lou's been taking a whole lot of heat. Everybody questioning if he has the fire left or the desire to continue managing. You know him real well. You think he's got enough fire left to manage this team?
What, do you think he lost it since last year?
I don't think so.
I don't either. You can only play what you got. As there's a strike. You can't make out a lineup with somebody who's not on your ball club.
And that's a manager's job, and that's essentially what Lou said in his article, is that I play the guys I'm given.
That's it.
The rest of the decisions are made by the front office. Then I have to move him around, and he's done whatever he can to move him around in different spots.
As that's out number 2.
Send along best wishes to Jill Estep, looking on in Arizona. Big Sox fan.
On the other side, down in Florida, John and Rachel watching in today. But no, you can only play what they give you. As they have the shift on here, Thome is 1 for 1, a walk and a home run. Just flipped a home run out of here to left field. There goes Pods, too late. That is stolen base number 11.
And Blanco did everything he could to try to make the tag while actually flying across the bag. It's a pretty good jump. The throw is high. That's all it took.
Now they're just going to go ahead and put him on to get to Canerco.
This usually isn't a particularly good idea. You have the number 1 guy on this team and hitting with runners in scoring position coming up. But Jimmy did hit the last ball out of the ballpark. He winds up at first.
And Paulie 0 for 2. He's grounded to third and struck out. Now, Lou and I had dinner. He and Anita and I had dinner over at Ditka's last week after we played him. He has not lost his fire. I can assure you that.
I can imagine that he would have plenty of fire left, and Lou looking out now to wonder what exactly is going on.
Breaking ball is fired off the facade of the LG Skyline Club seats.
Now, Friel doesn't have the great arm anymore. He's in right field in place of Bradley. Fukudome is so deep that it becomes a non-event on a base hit to him. And Soriano, although he does have a good arm, takes a while to deliver the ball in left field, though perennially one of the assist leaders in outfielders.
Oh, man, just foul. Dadgummit.
That one didn't miss by much, but Darrell Cousins straddling the line, able to see it all the way. Well, there's a huge hole on the right side. Derek Lee is well off the line, and Fontenot is playing up the middle. You can see the hole, and odds are they're going to stay away from Paul at 0-2.
Outfielder spread out. And that's low. Pollard taking that pitch nicely. Ramon Castro on deck. Odds at second, Thome at first, 2 out. Moving inside. Softly hit up the middle, and that'll retire the side. So the Sox threaten here in the 6th, can't score. Go to the 7th, tied at 2. Hoffpower will lead it off here in the top of the 7th in this 2-2 tie. There's a shot foul. Twice Hoffpower has gone out to Pods in left field. And there's the strike. The count 1-2. Just tuning in, Sox with 1 in the first. Home run by Jermaine Dye. 2-run homer. Jake Fox in the 4th. They led it 2-1. Then Thome tied it up with the homer in the bottom of the 4th.
This Cub team, when they do play Fox and Hoffpower, and they're able to do that, of course, in American League parks, they've got a lot of thunder in this lineup.
Well, they're in a situation without Ramirez. He gone. That they're with Aramis, Ramirez in that lineup. It's an entirely different looking lineup. Entirely. And you know, being a former pitcher and a good one, you take a guy like that out of that lineup and it just changes the whole complexion, the whole culture of it.
Well, you always talk about, Hawk, what a guy does from the 7th, 8th inning on, and Ramirez gets him the big hits, and he also hits the 1s and 2s. Talking about the number 1 and 2 starters.
As there's a base hit, so all Fox has done is go 3 for 3. A hard double, a 2-run homer, and a hard single.
Well, I believe for the 2nd day in a row, he is a triple away from the cycle. And that appeared to be a first ball fastball again, even if you throw it from the side. This guy just looks like a flat-out good hitter.
Well, he is obviously seeing the ball extremely well right now.
I got to believe that the Cubs have got to play him.
There's the strike.
And the reason is, swinging the bat like that, you start to look like Brooks Robinson at third. Especially for a team starved for runs.
Well, that's pushing it a little bit.
He's had a good day today at third.
Yes, he has made one real good play. And actually, that was a play that he did not get the out on. That was on Pides. Oh, and 2.
Montanos hit the ball on the ground twice. Grounded into 4 double plays this year.
Once again, the totals on the board identical at 2-5-0. Paulie, you got time? No.
It's going to go E3.
Tough hop. You got to tough up there and try to handle it and just couldn't do it.
Well, on the way back, he said, "My fault," to Contreras, and there's not much you can do because you don't see this very often. And it does, unfortunately, open the door.
That's his first error of the season.
Well, he's had a remarkable year. In fact, I think a year certainly that would put him in consideration for the Gold Glove.
Well, there's not a first baseman in this league better at picking out of the dirt than Konerko. So here is Soto. He's 1 for 2. Takes first pitch strike.
Well, he smoked the ball twice. One time down the line and the other time almost out of the ballpark.
That ball hit hard. That is a 3-run homer and a 5-2 Cub lead.
Seventh home run by Soto. He now has 24 driven in. And that one was a no-doubter.
So here's Blanco. He is 0 for 2. Got it.
Every run today, all 7 of them have come via the home run, and that ball just hung high over the middle of the plate, and Soto took it out.
And if you're sitting at home thinking about that error by Konerko, they were not going to turn 2 on that play.
Nope.
So instead of 5-2, it would have been 4-2. One and 1 to count. Soriano struck out in the first. He struck out in the third. He grounded to third in the 5th. And there's the strike. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 39,015 in attendance.
time Jose dipped down sidearm. Looked like his front foot slipped out from under him a touch. And threw it awkwardly.
He gone. Gas upstairs, but the 3-run homer by Soto. 7th inning stretch, not good.
And for the most part, they're who's playing later on. Follow your team on your iPhone or iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009. Featuring play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. Visit WhiteSox.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase.
One out. Here in the bottom of the 7th. 5-6-0 for the Cubs. 2-5-1 for our Sox. Castro now 0 for 3. Chris Getz has struck out and then lined hard to right field.
The Shadows are preparing to move across home plate. As you can see, the shadow of the stands with this 3:05 start.
There's a line drive, so there's 2 line drives for Chris Getz. Meanwhile, he's 0 for 3. And Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win 5 $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. Quickly 2 out. And Brian Anderson pops it up. Get out. It will. And the second row.
There's a full house today, as you would expect. It's just a gorgeous day for baseball.
Everything except the score. 70 degrees as we speak. Just ate him up right there.
Bullpen up and going for the Cubs. Bullpen silent for the Sox. That bullpen yesterday for the Sox came in the 5th inning, gave 1 unearned run the rest of the way, and the game went 13.
And that didn't take long. Ground out, a line out, a strikeout, and we're into the 8th. Top of the 8th inning. It'll be Fukudome, Friel, and Lee. And we have not heard the reason why Bradley left the ball game.
He didn't appear to be hurt.
Well, we have heard a story on why he left the game, but not the reason. That's out of play.
Matt Thornton starts loosening up.
A bunt. And let it go, let it go. It's going to stay fair. Only chance we knew it was going to stay fair was if it hit something and kick left. So that's a leadoff bunt single.
After a couple of line drives, one at Jermaine Dye and one at Paul Konerko, this one stays fair. It's the high def shot of the game. And as you can see, that ball rolls back and stays in fair territory.
That's the only option he had because Fukudome was across the bag. Could have been down in the right field corner.
Ryan Friel just off the disabled list.
Fukudome 5 for 9 in stolen bases. Cubs 29 stolen bases and 45 attempts. Sox 45 stolen bases. They've been thrown out 23 times.
The Cubs originally signed Joey Gathright. You might remember him from Kansas City. He didn't work out particularly well, so they decided to go to Baltimore and pick up Ryan Friel. During the course of his career, at various times, has been a very handy man to have around.
Want to know the count. Shadows getting out there. Bradley was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. There goes the runner. There's the throw. Not in time.
A little confusion as to who was going to take the throw, and I think that was one of the problems. It wasn't a good throw. It one hopped the bag, but it appears that Getz and Ramirez were right there together.
Well, you know, that's not the first time that's happened.
There's two guys sitting there. I mean, we've seen a lot of strange things. That's one of the stranger ones.
Friel trying to move it to the right side. Fouls it back.
At one point before all the injuries, Ryan Friel led the Reds in steals 3 straight years, but the last couple of years with them were injury plagued. Baltimore signed him to a fairly substantial contract and ate all the money in the trade with the Cubs.
That's up high, 2-2. Just tuning in, Contreras trailing 5-2, but he has pitched a pretty good ball game. A couple of mistakes. 2-run homer by Fox, 3-run homer by Soto. Only given up 7 hits. And a full count right here.
Carlos Marmol ready in the bullpen for the Cubs.
Hey, Randy Wells has been impressive with that. Broken bat, that won't get the job done. And that's out number 1. Right now, let's check out our U.S. Cellular text poll question. Believe in something better. Which is your favorite White Sox jersey? A, home pinstripes. B, road gray. C, alternate black. Just text A, B, or C to 97999 and watch for the results later in the ball game.
And now they're going to walk Lee, and that undoubtedly will mean that Thorn will come in to face Hoffbauer. Or I assume that's what it means.
It's already written down. And this is going to be ball 4.
And July 8th at 7-Eleven, it's the White Sox versus the Indians. You can enjoy post-game fireworks presented by Comcast Sportsnet. For game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
So it's going to be Contreras. Hoffbauer is 0 for 3. Now here comes Ozzie.
Castro was looking over in the dugout as to, I know you sent me out here, and I know your left-hander's been up in the pen, and that's going to be it for Contreras. And we just have to hope that he comes out of this with his back okay, because those things have a tendency to stiffen up even further.
So a couple of mistakes, but he's going to get a nice round of applause as he goes to the dugout. Thornton comes on, and we'll be back. When it comes to your health, get the tips you need to stay in big league shape at walgreens.com/knowyourstats. This men's health site includes money-saving coupons from our sponsors, plus details on how you can score one free refreshing Gatorade. And how about a trip for you and 3 of your closest friends to spring training from a one-a-day multivitamins. Learn more at walgreens.com/knowyourstats.
At Thornton in the game.
Throws the first one at 96 right by Hoffbauer.
Thornton at 4-2, ERA 2.57, on for the 30th time. He inherits base runners at first and second. Only one out here in the 8th.
5-7-0 for the Cubs. 2-5-1 for our Sox. 4 home runs in a ball game. Unfortunately, they're 2 coming with 2 on and 1 on. Both our home runs, nobody on. He gone. 2 down.
Thorn just heating him up. That one perfectly on the outside corner. And now Don Cooper coming out. And he wants to talk to Thornton about maybe changing up the game plan on Fox, who's hit everything in sight.
Well, you're a 7-2 favorite if you say stay away from first ball fastball anywhere he can hit it. You want to throw it, just show it to him, but don't let him barrel it up.
We also have a bit of an advantage now. We talked about the shadow from the stands as it creeps out to the grass in front of home plate with the pitcher in bright sunshine. There you see the visibility. Very much favors the pitcher.
Well, in this case, Matt Thorn's best pitch is his fastball, no question about that. And does that mean he has to stay away from his best pitch? Not at all. But you just want to take a little bit less dangerous out of that swing from Fox. And that's well inside. That's a good pitch.
It's like catching him off the elbow will take a little something out of that swing.
At 96 or 97, yeah, slow it up a little bit.
Fox is right on top of the plate and just a touch open.
They're going to go back in there again. That's foul down. So they decided they're just going to go ahead. When you get a guy who's swinging, we've talked about this so much. When you get a guy who's hot, or you get a team who's hot, you better pitch him inside. The reason they're swinging about well as an individual or collectively as a club is because they're looking for the ball out over the plate, getting it there, and hitting it hard. Go back in there. Upstairs.
Well, going in off the plate is a lot different than in for a strike. And he's thrown the pitch. You see where Castro has the glove? He threw it right to the glove. He kept it up and out of the strike zone. And again, visibility much favors Thornton.
Now Castro just standing up. Two and two. 2 on, 2 out. Down by 3 here in the top of the 8th. Full count. And you got Mike Fontenot on deck.
Well, I'm figuring that if the same situation holds without a right-hander in that bullpen and you don't get Fox, you get Theriot instead of Fontenot.
Hit hard. Fox seeing the ball extremely well.
Mike Quaddy, the third base coach, very brave as he stands in the front part of that coach's box with Fox up there hitting the ball as hard as he's hitting it.
That's into center field. Ryan Anderson is there, got in on him. So you pitch those hot hitters in, you get a better chance of getting them out. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. We need 3 to tie. And a pitching change, Stone Pony, a guy that if he throws strikes, he's tough, but we got a shot.
Carlos Marmol comes into the game. A great job by Randy Wells. He went the first 7. 3-run lead. You go to Marmol, who's the premier setup man of this team. Opponent's hitting 150. Last year, opponents hit 130. If he doesn't walk you, you have a hard time hitting it.
First pitch misses to Beckham. Gordon is 1 for 2.
Marmol with 35 walks in 34 innings.
Beckham has faced Marmol once, and he has a base hit. There's a breaking ball. And now, right now, those shadows are really tough.
This would be the time, if you had your choice, you would love to pitch. That's why the walks are devastating in this kind of visibility.
Yet you talk to some hitters, didn't bother them one bit.
Those must be the real good ones.
It's amazing. I never understood how the shadows like this could not bother you. They just ate me alive. I know one of the there's a count of 3-1. Don't help him out.
Marmol's been falling off the mound to the first base side since the first game he started as a Cub. It hasn't changed since, and that's the reason why he can't consistently get the ball over the plate.
And a full count.
Three runs down. Swinging at a pitch out of the zone. Not recommended, but you're dealing with a very young player.
And there's ball 4.
There's an example from Marmol. He's 3 runs up, and he throws the pitch that he's been yanking well wide of the plate because he falls off to the first base side. And so, obviously, a good way to start the 8th inning.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think that sets very well with number 41 down in that dugout. Look at it, 3-2, you got a 3-run lead, and you're trying to hit the outside corner with a slider and visibility when you can't hardly see the ball. Meanwhile, there's a strike to Scotty Pides, who is 2 for 3 with a stolen base. That ball hit hard into center field, but Fukudome is there.
Treat your group of 50 to 100 fans to a pregame patio party buffet and then enjoy the game from the warning track area. Call 312-674-1000 to book your warning track party today or visit WhiteSox.com for more details.
So here's Ramirez. He's faced Marmol once, and he's 0 for 1. Takes ball 1. Right on the outside edge. 1-1 to count. Jermaine Dye on deck. Come on, guys. Got to get a little something going right here. Beckham decent lead.
Going to show some patience with Marmol. Looks he hasn't been the most patient. Just can't help him out. And Soto's going out there to remind him that you got a 3-run lead.
And the fans sensing a little something right here.
Well, he might be telling him the visibility isn't real good, and you're only throwing sliders. And Lou pacing back and forth. The bullpen up and going for the Cubs. Quickly.
Another breaking ball and a full count. And another one outside, ball 4. Thank you very much. That'll bring the tying run to the plate.
And here comes Larry Rothschild. You watch Marmol, he falls off to the first base side. That's enough to yank that slider out of the zone. 2 more walks in a third of an inning. And this is a heated conversation. And I understand there have been a couple of them in the dugout today. This is not a friendly one. In the first inning, Jermaine Dye with our 4th drive of the game. Put the Sox on top 1-0. A changeup. Wells didn't make too many mistakes, but this was one of them.
Randy Wells pitched well. Very well. And here we go. 1 out, 2 on. Tying run at the plate as he takes 93-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike.
Marmol's only given up 1 home run this year. Coming in 34 1/3.
And that is low. Well, he's due.
He is indeed.
That's chopped foul over into the Sox dugout. Now you got to cinch it up and hunker down, big man.
Sean Marshall, the left-hander. Aaron Heilman, the right-hander, on the left.
Two and two.
And you would think that regardless of the resolution of this at bat, it would be Marshall against Thome, who's in the on-deck circle.
He just missed it. Got a roller right there.
Soriano hasn't seen it.
And they dropped the ball.
Soriano never saw that ball. He just stood out there in left field, and Blanco made an amazing effort for it. He was out past Soriano trying to make that catch, and the bases are loaded. This is a hanging slider, and unfortunately, Jermaine didn't get it. Soriano coming in late. Nobody calling for it. Soriano gets a face full of glove, and Blanco looks like he gets stepped on.
So that will be a base hit, and here's Jim Thome facing Marmol, sacks packed. And that is a fair ball. Here comes one. Here comes Ramirez. They're going to hold Jermaine at third. And it's a 5-4 ball game. Mercy.
That ball was touched in fair territory, deflected into foul territory, and that's why Angel Campos called it fair. Lee went up as high as he could go. The ball ticked off the glove, went into foul territory. Jimmy has driven in his 2nd and 3rd run, and the Sox within 1. I'm real surprised Marshall's not in there. But Jimmy lets the bat go, and the ball tips off the glove.
Bat just explodes. There it is, right there. And now Ducks on the pond with 1 out, and here comes Contreras.
They want to call timeout because I think they want to take Jim down. He represents the go-ahead run in this game. He's out at 2nd. Maybe they want him to stay there. I guess they want him to stay there while they're walking Contreras.
They're going to put Paulie on. To load him up, AJ on deck. And Marshall down in the pen. And one reason they're walking Paul Contreras among others, is today's Toyota moving forward. Paulie has been the Cup killer in the Crosstown Classic, a 301 average with 14 homers and 38 RBIs coming in to this afternoon's game. So now, Nix goes out to run for Thome.
And now Lou is waiting for Ozzie to announce Pierzynski. Now he's announced. Lou then walks out. And that's going to be it for Marmol. With the bases loaded, only one out, and A.J. Pierzynski coming to bat.
So Marmol departs, Marshall comes on, and we'll be back.
Advantage of an enclosed setting with outdoor balconies and a private seating area for your group. Buffets also available. Book a terrace suite today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. Sean Marshall comes into the game with the bases loaded. He's a guy who has started. He's done that 8 times, on for the 22nd time. 3-5, ERA 4.33. He's given up 8 home runs in 54 innings. And he looks in at A.J. Pierzynski getting a pinch at bat with no place to put him.
Sox packed with Sox, 5-4 Cubs on top. There's Lee with one, the return throw, the 3-2-3 double play, and the inning is quickly over. We'll go to the 9th. It is a 5-4 Cub lead. A 5-4 Cub lead here in the top of the ninth. Fontenot, Soto, and Blanco, the scheduled hitters, as Fontenot tries to bunt it. Can't get it. He is 0 for 3.
AJ stays in the game behind the plate.
And the count 0-2. He gone. 1 out.
Normally, Matt makes short work of the left-handers. He's not easy for the right-handers to hit, but he's close to impossible for the left-handers.
So he has 2 strikeouts and the 3 outs he has recorded. And here is Soto. He is 2 for 3 with a 3-run homer. Takes ball 1. Five 7-0 for the Cubs, 4-7-1 for our Sox. As the count evens at 1. For our Sox in the bottom of the ninth, schedule hitters are Getz, Anderson, and Beckham.
Kevin Gregg, the closer, loosening up. Ozzie still has Dwayne Wise on the bench.
Up high, 2-2. Cubs trying to interrupt their interleague record to 6-6 as that's foul straight back. Sox came in at 9-5. And there is another souvenir right side. Full count to Giovanni Soto. Outfield straight up, spread out. Beckham back and off the line at third. And the payoff.
A lot of souvenirs in this at bat.
And one more time. Beckham backs up. Lot of top spin, guns over. 2 out.
Blanco turning around and hitting from the right side. He's only had 8 right-handed at-bats, and he's 1 for those 8. So you have to take away the bunt.
A little pop-up on an attempted bunt earlier. Grounder to second, a grounder to first. So Thorn kept pumping those fastballs. That ball hit into the gap. Nobody's going to get that one. One hop, ground rule double.
Fourth double of the year for Blanco, his first from the right side. He hits this ball pretty well.
And they're going to put Soriano on. Get to Fukudome. Soriano 0 for 4 today. 3 strikeouts and a grounder to third. So now 2 out, 2 on. Fukudome comes to the plate. Right now, let's check out our text results from U.S. Cellular. The text question: 59% said alternate black is their favorite White Sox jersey. So here we go. Fukudome is lined hard to right. He is lined hard to first. Struck out and had a beautiful bunt single. Looking for it, got it, and spun out on it.
That spin out is what Vaughn Joshua has been working with him. And
that might be a little hard to break in a Japanese hitter. That's an MO for those guys. He had a lot of spinners over there, including Ichiro. One pitch. And the count 1-2. With Friel on deck.
Fukudome doesn't strike out a lot, but he will on a high fastball in this situation.
Nice little snap there by Thorn, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Schedule hitters again, Anderson and Beckham.
Fifth time. He does have 11 saves. He's also prone to give up the long ball. 6 home runs in 32 and a third innings. Walk 15, fan 32, and has 5 wild pitches. Throws a lot of splitters in the dirt. Ryan Theriot moves in at shortstop. Blanco shifts over to second.
And here's Chris Getz. Chris 0 for 3. Last 2 times up have just stung it. 2 line shots right at him. Takes a breaking ball on the inside part of the plate for a strike.
Dwayne Wise in the on deck circle. He'll come on to pinch hit.
Wow, that's a wide differential right there between those 2 strikes. And that's low. One out. Yeah, that's a tough at bat right there when you get those first two. One of those two. There's just a nice pitch by Greg. Greg, a big guy, 6'6", 240 pounds. And here's Dwayne Wise. Takes ball one. Hitting for Brian Anderson, who was 0 for 3 today.
Mike Fontenot shifts over to third.
Two balls and a strike with one down here in the bottom of the ninth. And the count 2-2. At least the shadows right now. At least you got a chance as Gordon Beckham comes out. Full count. $39,015. And that's out of play. Sox with one in the first. Go ahead, Stone.
No, just a good job of staying alive because that was 93 on the outside corner.
Sox with one in the first, one in the fourth, two in the eighth. Cubs 2 in the fourth, 3 in the seventh. Ball hit hard. Nice play by Lee. Greg just does get there.
Greg was slow. Derek Lee so far has been at his usual defensive best. This ball looked like it was ticketed for right field, but Lee makes a good play. He started the 3-2-3 double play, and this time gets there an eyelash ahead of Wise.
Josh Fields is going to hit for Beckham. Gordon was 1 for 2 today with a walk. That walk started off the 2-run 8th inning. Come on, Josh, one time, buddy. Soto to the outside. And there's ball one. Strike one.
Greg has been prone to give up the long ball, and we got a guy who is fully capable of doing it. He'd like to get it down and out over the plate.
And they're going to save the breaking ball until now. They have not shown it to him. 1-2. It's either going to be slow, low, or high, hard. That's outside. 92. Just off the corner. Scott Posednik on deck, so 2 out. Full count to Fields. Ball full base hit right here. And that's ball 4.
That's a tying run at first base. Posednik with a couple of hits today. Now they're going to play real deep in the outfield in a no doubles defense.
Scotty singled in the first. Singled in the sixth. Also picked up a stolen base. And he turns it loose and just underneath it. Ramirez on deck. One and one to count from the big right-hander. Big pitch right here. And that's low.
Well, he hasn't really trusted that splitter because he didn't throw it at all the fields. Wound up walking him. That's the first one he's thrown to Posednik, and that missed.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. First of this 3-game set. Soto wants to go out and tell him exactly what he wants to do. So
that ball was off the corner. Called strike 3. Posednik can't believe it. And a bad pitch to miss on the final pitch of the game.